Hey, if you're a real estate agent who is tired of listings sitting on the market with no urgency, weak showings, and feedback, like we're still thinking about it, this video is for you. Today, I'm diving into a strategy that most coaches would charge you thousands of dollars to learn, but I'm breaking it down here for free. This is what we use consistently to generate multiple offers in days, not weeks. We call it the power launch strategy. It's not just a fancy name, it's a repeatable, proven method that flips the scripts and puts you back in control of the listing. And it works whether you're brand new to real estate or selling hundreds of homes a year. Let's jump into it. All right, so before we do that, make sure that you subscribe to the channel and then like, share, and comment. I'm also going to give you an opportunity to join our free Facebook group. We actually pivoted off of the Agent War Room community into our Real Estate CEOs Facebook group. There's over 1,000 agents already collaborating, and you could be next. So stick around for the end of the video. I'll show you how to do that. All right, so let's jump in. Now, let me ask you something real quickly. How do most agents actually list homes? They take some photos, throw it on the MLS, Thursday night, hope people book showings over the weekend and kind of just wait. And that's what we call trickle-in traffic, right? One showing here, one showing on Monday at 10:30, maybe another one the following week. The listing gets stale, the seller gets anxious, and the buyer, well, they have all the power. That's where it ends up, right? Because when one buyer walks through a home alone, they don't feel any urgency. They don't feel any competition. They start asking themselves interesting questions like, how long will they go? I'll think about it and come back later. That doesn't help your seller. And it definitely doesn't help you when you're trying to sell that listing, right? So here's what we do instead. We launch every listing using the power launch strategy. It's a concentrated and controlled 5-day system that builds anticipation, stacks showing appointments, and by doing that, it actually creates a competitive buyer environment over one specific weekend. So here's the breakdown. First of all, we go live with the listing on a Wednesday or a Thursday, typically a Thursday. But instead of allowing random one off showings, we respond to every request with one very simple script, right? It's, hey, thanks so much for your interest. Due to the anticipated activity, the seller has actually requested that all showings take place during a 3-hour launch window this Sunday from 1 to 4 p.m. Now that's key. Now here's the thing. When we explain the nature of restricted access listings, then we tell the seller, like, what do you think? And they say, yes, absolutely. Let's do that. So we're not lying when we say the seller has requested that. Now, did we guide them to understand that that's the best possible way to list the home and put it on the market and build that anticipation and ultimately create competition that drives up prices and gets you back in control? Yeah, of course. But ultimately, it's their choice. So I like to be super clear on that. And, that's the key. You're setting the stage for an event, not a trickle. You're controlling the narrative. And on Thursday and Friday, the listing starts to gain its exposure. It hits the MLS, Zillow, Redfin, your CRM, your drip campaigns, and all your social channels. And you also want to make sure that you're reaching out and doing all the other things, right? Reaching out to real estate agents that have sold homes in the area that might have leftover buyers, people that are buying leads in the area. You could typically tell because they're selling, more than double the average amount in a given zip code. And so those are the types of things, right? Tapping into that, going into your database and calling anybody and everybody who's looked for a home in that area around that price and inviting them out. And you really start at that point also fielding all the showing requests and funnel them all into that same Sunday window. And by Saturday, you're following up, you're confirming appointments, and you're really activating all of your sphere, like I just mentioned. So now you've already notified every agent you've worked with in that area, and you're hitting your buyer database. You're pushing the urgency. Now it's Sunday morning. It's go time, right? You got to drop 50 to 60 directional signs and you want to have them out by 10 a.m. You walk the property one last time, and from 1 to 4 p.m., buyers start showing up back to back to back. Now, we like to stack appointments. So if someone wants to see the property at 1 and another person wants to see it at 1, great. I'm going to book that, right? I'm going to allow them all in that same window and I'm going to stack them as much as possible. right? And here's the thing, I'm also going to try to drive as much open house traffic and neighbor traffic as possible because we like what's called human staging. And this is something that we talk with our clients about when we're taking the listing initially. It's called human staging. Getting other people in the room. Because here's the thing, they see other cars parked out front. They see couples walking in, right? They hear conversation. They see energy. What they sense is competition. And that's when the buyer mindset really shifts. Instead of asking, how low can I go? They're asking, how do I win? Because now they're in a live environment. There's perceived demand, and that demand drives value. It had it has buyers, submit full price offers before they even left the driveway, right? Just because they saw another couple walking in behind them. And you want me to prove how this works? Like, remember the last time you went shopping, maybe you tried on a coat or a purse or something like that, and you're like, this is nice. I like it. It fits. It works. I'm going to keep shopping. You take it off, you put it back on the rack. And then someone walks up right behind you and they see that same coat and they like it and they try it on. What do you normally do? How do you normally react? You probably, if you're like any other normal human, you probably go, hey, get your hands off my jacket, right? That jacket that was okay, that was worth considering, but definitely not, I have to have it now, all of a sudden turns into something that you have to have now. So trust me, yeah, houses are big, like ticket items, but that doesn't change the fact that human psychology is human psychology, right? And that's really the power of what we call engineered urgency. And that's not just hype, it delivers real leverage to your seller. It empowers them in a major way because instead of random feedback over 30, 60 days, something like that, they get real time insights within 48 hours. Either we're reviewing multiple offers Monday morning or we have a crystal clear market feedback immediately. Understand that. That's super important that if you did miss the price on the home, on the marketing price, then you need to get that feedback right away, not as it trickles in. That way you guys can be decisive and not chase the market and let the listing get stale. Right? So now let's talk about how to execute all this. First, you have to set the expectation with the seller during the listing appointment. That's where it starts. You got to tell them, hey, we don't just list in home, we launch with intention, and here's how it works. Right? You got to break it down. Second, you got to make sure the house is actually market ready. That means staging, deep cleaning, professional photos, marketing collateral. If it looks like a $700,000 home online, it better feel like one in person. Now, what we like to do is have twilight photos. That's those like purplish background with yellowish lights. And what that does is that stops the scroll. That's what we talk to the clients about as well. Say, listen, it's all about pattern interrupt. Everyone else has a daytime shot at the front. We want to interrupt that pattern. Okay. And so that's why we use twilight photography. Now, third, you need to prepare your scripts. Every showing request gets the same answer. I already kind of mentioned it. Hey, we're doing a structured showing window this Sunday from 1 to 4. That uniformity builds curiosity and it builds confidence. Now, fourth, you have to own the neighborhood. Use physical signage. This is not an option, by the way. You want to dominate that zip code on Sunday. If someone's driving around that day, they should feel like every road leads to your listing. Now, finally, follow up like a professional. That's important. Sunday evening, you're calling every agent who showed up. Hey, did they like it? Are they writing? What questions came up, right? You want to be able to report great feedback to the seller. In addition to that, you're following up with every single buyer that was unrepresented, right? Now, those are future clients for you. They're likely not in a position to buy right then and there or buy that home, but these are people that you're absolutely going to also follow up with for conversion purposes, but also to get their feedback, right? And understand maybe there are some of them that are going to rush and try to get qualified. Cool. Let's try to see if we can help that. Now, as you report back to the seller that night or first thing Monday, you have real leverage. You've got urgency. You've got social proof. And you've got a seller who knows that you aren't just another listing agent. You are a strategist. And this is how you actually win more listings, get stronger offers, and separate yourself in the eyes of your clients and your entire market. Now, here's the thing, you want to do this in a major way because this is a different approach and you need to let people know that this is a different approach. That's how you win listings. Now, this is part one of a three-part series. And the next one I'm going to break down for you is getting into how to actually initiate this with for sale by owners, which we're having a lot of success with. And so I'm going to go ahead and break that down. But I'm going to give you the promise that I ended up talking about at the beginning, maybe a little bit extra. So here's the thing. If you want to learn more about the power launch strategy and get our checklist, our exact scripts, and our marketing templates, do me a favor. Go down in the comments and comment power below, or you can shoot me a DM, right? You can find me on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook, and I'll send it over. No catch. Now, here's the thing. If you're serious about scaling your business and you really want to plug into a community of well over 1,000 agents, and a lot of them are high level agents who share scripts, who share strategies and tools like this every single week, do this. Comment, let me in below, and I'll personally invite you to our Real Estate CEOs Facebook group. It's free, it's active, and it's where top agents come to level up. Now, if you found value in this, again, hit the subscribe button. We're just getting started. In the next video, I'm actually going to break down how we turn cold for sale by owners into warm, motivated listing appointments using a single piece of print marketing no one else in your market is using. I'm fairly certain of that. I'll see you there. Let's dominate.